Hey, this is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. I know, as you can see, it's 8:22. I planned to go to work. It didn't work out. I will tell y'all that story. But in the meantime, between time, let me get y'all started with some positive vibes. All right, before we get into today's topic, because you know what? Today's going to be
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, yo. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Step 2. Hey, social baby, Bobby. Hey, Ontario. Good morning. Step 3. Oh, step 4. Hey. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I know y'all are shocked to see me today, and I am shocked to see me too, as I did get dressed for work, y'all. Okay? I got dressed for work. This same shit happened to me last week. I got dressed for work, went out there, stood at the bus stop to catch the bus. And since we have a lot of construction going on right now in Hackensack, the buses are detoured, but they don't tell us where the bus is detoured to, right? But there's ways the bus can get to the bus stop. It can come down and around the corner like all the other buses, but my bus never fucking shows up. Okay? Good morning, your average logical thinker. My bus never the fuck shows up. And so I stood out there for 20 minutes and I see people again, like they did last week. They're pulling out their phone. They're calling Uber. They're calling Lyft. They're trying to get alternate buses. And I'm saying to myself, why must I do all of that? Why must I struggle? Good morning. Good morning. Why must I struggle to get to work when there's enough technology and I work from home on a majority anyway, right? It's going to be less productive for me to fight to figure out how to get to work, okay, than to stay home and be productive and do my job. Now, I could have driven, but how many times I got to explain to you guys that the mileage on my car is low because what? Because RAW does not like to drive, all right? Especially during rush hour traffic and especially to Newark, New Jersey, all right? The traffic in Newark, New Jersey makes my whole entire ass itch. I cannot deal with it. It triggers my anxieties, and so no. It's not worth it, right? So I came back home, got undressed, made me a cup of coffee, said to myself, self, just let your boss know that it's not going to happen today, right? I am very productive at home, so I don't think he's going to have a problem with it, all right? I bust my ass at work, even though, you know, I got good time management, y'all. Because some people swear I don't have a job, right? But I have great time management. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, the General. Good morning. So, y'all, I didn't read the positive thought yet, and it's a good one. I didn't read it thoroughly. I just read the first couple of sentences. I just want to say, yesterday, y'all were hot. The hell? You know, yesterday was a true testament, right, of how our perspectives can be different and how other people's way of thinking can trigger you, right? But I am so proud of y'all because even though people had moments, right, of frustration, we still kept it respectful, right? Hillbilly, of course you have no traffic. I know you lying, right? We kept it respectful, right? And I'm hoping that no one is holding any grudges or hostility because, you know, this is what this show is about. You know, I remember going to therapy, right, with my, circle fuck hoe. And we were in therapy. Now, everybody thinks you go to therapy and therapy is, it is helpful, but everybody thinks it's, this thing where you're going to come out feeling better. Baby, when we went into that therapy session, we were talking. We were on good terms, right? We were in good spirits. When that therapy session ended, we came out of there fighting. We came out of there arguing. I went one way. He went the next way. I didn't even want to travel the fuck home with him that day, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is, good morning, Georgie. The reason why I'm saying this is because when people are unpacking their feelings, it might trigger somebody. It might trigger you. It might piss you off. Somebody else's truth or somebody else's trauma might piss you off. I came out of therapy the fuck arguing, right? And like I really, we were talking about our relationship, right? And so Georgie, it was a hard, going to couples therapy is hard because you have to sit and hear things about yourself that you might not be ready to hear and the other person too, right? And so I don't know, I don't remember the exact content, right? Of what triggered me, but I know I came out of therapy hot. This was so many years ago. And so I just want to say sometimes unpacking shit and being real, fuels a little bit of fire, but that's what unpacking in therapy is about. All right. And so I want to say thank y'all for hanging in there. Wait, what, Chef You? Oh, see, that's what I be talking about. Hey, the General, Mrs. Yesterday promoting my podcast stuff. You missed yesterday. Oh, no. Oh, well, you missed a good one. They were on here popping it off, the General. Chef You said therapy didn't work for me. Dude gaslighted me right on the chair. And that part. See, Chef You, this is what I be talking about. When I say I need a therapist that I can relate to, because some of these, the two or three therapists that I have, I was scratching my head at them like, what? Right? And now I'm much smarter. Right? Now I'm much smarter. So now when I shop for a therapist, I know what I'm looking for. And one of the questions I'm going to ask my therapist, thanks to Coffee with Friends, y'all said that this is an appropriate question to ask. And Fancy K, who is a therapist on here, said it's an appropriate question to ask. My question to my therapist is going to be, do you have a therapist? Hey, Mika Norris, good morning. Right? So, Chef You, we need to pick therapists that we can relate to, that we feel safe with, right? Obviously, that therapist wasn't for you. And you know, it's unfortunate because when you go to therapy and you get a bad experience like that, it might be the last time for some people. They might be like, no, it's not work. It doesn't work. Which is sad. Which is sad. But happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy freaking Tuesday. So I'm going to read the positive thought for today. All right. Today is May 2nd. Damn. I feel like I just paid my rent. And yesterday I had to log in and pay my rent again. Juanita, you're not coming to Hillbillies Holla in the Squalor in West Virginia? That's where he lived. Yep, the general. That's a good one. 2 requirements for my future therapist: to be Black and have a therapist. I love it. At least you know what you want, right? Good morning, Johnny Hill. All right. May 2nd. I am now receptive. Y'all know May is the month of acknowledgement, right? That's what acceptance. We just came out of acknowledgement. May is the month of acceptance, okay? May 2nd, I am now receptive to the idea that when I get there, everyone will not be there. Did y'all hear that? I am now receptive to the idea that, and I need this read today. When I get there, everyone will not be there. If you really want to give your life, and the topic today, living authentically, right? If you really want to live your life to the fullest and realize your greatest potential, you must be willing to run the risk of making some people mad. Oh, they will get mad. Whenever you move beyond someone's opinion of you, they get upset because you thought more of yourself than they thought of you. If you want to know just how much you can do, how far you can reach, how much you can stretch, you must be willing to leave some people behind. You must be willing to do more, be more, have more than those in your present company have. This does not mean you should compare yourself to them. Nor does it mean you are showing off. Oh no, it means that you must be willing to step out of your own, try life for yourself, and claim your divine inheritance without guilt. Living authentically. Without guilt. If you really want to know who you are and what you are capable of achieving, you must be willing to live without the opinions of other people. That means you don't ask for opinions. And when they are offered, you need not accept them. In order to find your identity, your authenticity, and a true sense of wholeness, you must develop your individuality from the wealth of information that comes from within you. Of course, others around you can give you effective feedback, but you need not make it your gospel. People may not like what you do. People may not like how you do it. But these people are not living your life. You are. Until you are willing to live beyond the opinions of other people and without the company of other people, you will have no idea of what your life is all about. Good morning, Val. Good morning, Mishibu. Damn it. If y'all have this book at home, I suggest y'all reread this in your own time, May 2nd. Until today, you may have been holding on to other people's opinions about you and doing your best to keep people with you on your side. Just for today, take a risk. Tell somebody what you really want for your life. Tell someone you do not agree with their opinion of you. Then jump into the center of your own life and get comfortable being there. Today, I am devoted to living my life without guilt based on my own opinions. This said people gonna get mad. They said people are gonna get mad when you are living your life authentically. People will get mad. People will have opinions of you, right? But until you are living your life authentically, and what does that mean? Stop taking opinions of what other people feel about you to heart. Focus on how you feel about yourself, what you want from yourself, what is deep inside yourself. And move to the beat of that music. And guess what? People gonna get mad. Good morning, Doc. Let the motherfuckers get mad. Right? Let them get mad. Because why are they mad? Anybody mad at you living your life authentically, you needed to see them mad so that you can X their asses out your life. Why are they mad? Right? I done pissed. I don't know how many people off just trying to live my life and be who I am. I've always, true story, right? I'm about to tell y'all some shit, right? True fucking story. This is how authentic I am, right? True fucking story. And I'm on social media. I'm live, right? So, I remember every year my grandmother, we give my grandmother a birthday dinner. Okay? Every year. Right? Oh my God. And Valerie, you're on here. Valerie Wallace. So you're going to relate to the story I'm telling because you're going to know what I'm talking about. And I remember this particular year, I was separated. Well, no, what am I saying? I'm separated. I was single. Living in Westwood, I was single, not separated. I was finally broken up. This was the last time I broke up with fuck circle hoe. And I was single for about a year and a half, right? And I started traveling to Buffalo, right? I met a young woman. We clicked, right? And I would go to Buffalo to see her, right? And so I remember at my grandmother's dinner, right? Because some people are just fucking nosy, but I'm so fucking honest. Like when you ask me something, I'm gonna tell you, right? I'm gonna tell you. And so, my cousin was like, "You keep traveling to Buffalo," and then the girl I was seeing is an aggressive. Okay, so if y'all know LGBTQ, if you're a part of the LGBTQ or you have knowledge of it, you know what an aggressive is, right? And so they see me hanging out with her, and so automatically they assume we're a couple. And you know what? At the time, we were, right? So I was going to Buffalo to see this girl, and I was dating her. That's my fucking truth. Right? And so my cousin was like, "So you're going to Buffalo a lot these days, and I see that I said, "What is it you trying to ask me?" This is me living my life authentically. Anybody that know me know I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I do what I want to do. Okay. Right. And I was like, "What is it you're trying to ask me?" And she was like, "Well, I see that you going to see." I said, "Yes, I'm going to see a young woman. You want to know if I'm sleeping with her? You want to know if that's my partner at this moment?" Yes. And my cousins all stopped. My god cousin, my other cousins that was standing there, they all stopped and they looked at me and they were like, "What?" I said, "I don't know why y'all act like y'all just the fuck met me." Right? This is my pussy. This is my body. This is my life, right? When I go home at night and I close the door, right? Y'all motherfuckers ain't in the house with me, right? And so when I gave them my truth, they were all shocked and shit because they were like, what? I said, I do what I want to do. You know, I pass the time how I want to pass the time, right? So I've always lived my life authentically. And in my life, it has ticked a couple of people off. And in my people pleasing days, right? In my people pleasing days, that used to bother me, but I don't care anymore. Because when I cared, I realized that I had to keep tweaking and making adjustments in my life to care about making people comfortable, right? But I don't care whether you're comfortable or uncomfortable if I'm living my life authentically. Good morning, Teddy Polo. A lot of us are moving based on people's opinions. A lot of us are hiding the way we want to live our lives, our lifestyles, because of people's opinions. We care about how people feel about the things that we do, how we do them, where we the fuck do them. Are you living your life authentically? Right? I know I do. Right? And I remember that around that same time period, right? My son had called me on the phone. And, you know, I might not come out and tell you I'm dating a girl or I'm going to see a chick. That ain't none of y'all business. But if you see me out there and you be like, what you doing? And she happened to be my boo at the time, I'll be like, that's my boo. The fuck? Right? And I remember my son called me on the phone, right? And he was like, Ma, you keep going to Buffalo once or twice a month or whatever the case may be. And he was like, let's be serious. You know, he did it real slow and we cracked the fuck up together. Cause my son knows me. I'm like, I do what I want. And I was like, listen, mind your business. And he was like, I'm just saying, I know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, I'm not fucking hiding it. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you. And that's how I met Valerie Wallace, who's on this live today. She wasn't my boo, but I met her because of the girl that I was dating at the time, right? And so when I say living your life authentically, yes, it's going to piss people off. People are going to be upset. People are going to be, not happy with your decisions because it might not meet their lifestyle. And this is my truth today on here because you know what? I'm not worried about whether a man is going to marry me or accept me because of my past, because every man that I date, I tell them this about me. They know that I've been down to the cootie cat waters. The fuck? I'm just saying, living your life authentically without worrying about people's opinions. Okay? I'm just saying. And I come on Coffee with Friends and I give y'all my truth because there's a lot of people out here struggling with living in their truth, living their lives authentically. And I just want to do that publicly to let people know that you can do it. You can do it. And you will attract the most authentic people in your life over time. I'm just saying. All right, live your life authentically. Of course, I have a meeting at 9, but let me go up. Valerie said, yes, Coffee with Friends. I met Robin in Buffalo when she came to hang out. We met through a mutual friend. Yes, we did. Right. And meanwhile, we stayed friends. I'm cool with everybody in Buffalo. I don't dislike them. That's a cool crowd. Fuck. I just moved on. It wasn't personal. Right. It was just a time. Michelle said, I dated a woman and it was one of my best experiences. Actually, my friends like her and still do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Georgie. I love that, Michelle. And you know what, Michelle, I'm smiling at you right now. And you know exactly why I'm smiling at you. I love this for you. Right? I love this for you, Michelle. Yes, Georgie, let's be serious. That's what he called me on the phone and said. You know, he's a clown in his own right. Interior said also people need to mind their business. It's good you are transparent, but it was also okay if you told them none of their business. Exactly. I could have said that, but they know how I am, right? I would rather tell them the truth so that they would shut the fuck up. They would be in so much shock. They'd be like this, oh my God, I don't even want to ask her nothing else because she's just gonna come out and tell me, yes, I am the fuck am. Sit down. You don't have to guess when it comes to me. I'm just the fuck saying. I do what I want to do. All right. Good morning, Damaris. I remember, oh my God, Damaris joined, right? We're talking about living our lives authentically. Damaris joined. I'm so glad she joined because Damaris, I'm going to talk about the time we went to Hito, okay? We went to Hito. It was Damaris, myself, her husband, Donovan, and fuck Circle Boy, right? And so we all went to Hito. That was our spot. Damaris, I'm so glad you joined. And so we used to play these, and I think I told this story on here before, but this is for the new joiners, right? We used to play these, Hito, they always have drinking games going on that has to do with sex or taking off your clothes or some shit. And there was this drinking game, and y'all know what the game is. You have to drink every time. If they call something out, right, you have to drink if you did it, right? So they were calling shit out. You had threesomes. You did this. You did that. You did all of this. And they calling shit out. And we sitting around in a big circle. So I was drinking. I kept taking a shot. Damaris and Donovan looking across at me like, bitch, you still taking shots? I'm like, what the fuck? I done did it. Damaris is like, wait, what? I was still taking shots. Okay. Meanwhile, fuck Circle Boy, he wasn't shocked because I'm transparent. I'm honest, right? And so part two of that, later on that day, we were in the swimming pool. And Damaris, I don't know if you remember this. And I was telling the story of when I was working. I'm not gonna tell y'all the name of the company. Okay. But I was working at this company and wait. Damaris said, I didn't know who you were. Listen, you knew who I was after that, though, the fuck. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Part two of that is we ended up in the swimming pool, right? And so we were talking, and I don't know how this story came up, but I was talking about how the Spanish girl at my job, she was crushing on me or whatever. And this one particular day at work, she told me to meet her on the 13th floor, which was the finance floor. Their bathrooms had showers in it and all kind of shit. And she told me to meet her in there. And I did. I was in my early 30s. I was like, okay, let me meet her in there. What the fuck she gonna tell me? When I got in this bathroom, and I'm telling Damaris and Donovan the story while we're in the pool in Hito, I'm like, when I got in the bathroom, this bitch slammed me against the wall, started tongue kissing me down, was going down her pants with her fingers and shit, up in my cootie cat, and I let her. I was at work. I let her. Damaris was in the pool looking at me like, what in the fuck, right? And I mean, I'm just the fuck saying, live your life authentically. What the fuck y'all doing? I'm not saying you got to do what I do, but I'm just saying that I lived and lived my. Damaris said you're a chick magnet. That's true. I am. I am a chick magnet, and you know what? It's exciting. It really is. I love the fact that women are attracted to me. I do. Like we would be on a booze cruise. You remember, Damaris? We were on that booze cruise, and that white lady was trying to get with me. And Donovan and then was like, invite her back to the hotel. And I was like, no. And she had these big titties. Listen, I don't know. Chicks are attracted to me. I'm cool with that though. Okay. Juanita says some people like to say they don't care when they do respond to what others say or actually do. I find it less stressful to choose self. I've been called selfish in the process, but hey, what did the book say? It said they gonna get mad. People gonna get mad, right? Like I remember my best friend, she was upset. She was like, I don't want you to be a lesbian. And I was like, is that what I am? I don't. This is when, I was going to Buffalo and all that stuff. And she was like, I don't want you to. She got the fuck over it. Because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I am, but I'm just living my life authentically. I just do what I do. And she got used to it. And she was like, you know what? You have opened up my eyes. I understand it now. And you just do you. And I'm like, exactly. Okay. Exactly, Damaris. We had no judgment trips. You need to rephrase that and say we have no judgment trips. Our trip days are not over. It's just over with the fuck circle hoe. He's not coming. Okay, but we still have more trips to take. All right, I will be taking trips. Okay, with Donovan and Damaris. Okay, some damn where the fuck. Just fuckle circle boy ain't gonna be there. Valerie says, yes, sometimes you need that sensuality that only a woman gives. I'm just saying, do whatever you want to do. Juanita said, yep, just come right out and tell them. I mean, that's just how I roll. Juanita said, I will say, if you don't really want to know, don't ask me. And that's the point. They're my family, so I'm like, what? Yes, never have I ever. That's it, Si. That's the game. Never have I ever. Yep. Hillbilly said, experience over tradition any day. That part. Experience over tradition any day. Are you living your life authentically? This is a question when you take your few minutes in the morning when you wake up and whatever it is you do, pray, manifest, meditate, work out, whatever it is you do, take those few minutes, right? And remind yourself that experience is better than tradition any day. Good morning, Courtney. I'm just saying. Yep, Cootie Cat Juice. Thank you, Valerie. I'm just saying. And I love the vibe of women. I do. I mean, it's not something I think I could do as a full-time thing because I love men. I love intimacy. How about that shit? How about that? I love intimacy. Juanita said, Robin, that's because you're not free of what people will say or think when you are just you. Oh, that's because. Well, I wasn't always like that, right? Poor connection on IG. Sorry, y'all. I wasn't always like that, right? I did care about how people felt about me and what people thought until I did step into my authentic self. I stepped into my authentic self a long time ago, right? And I live my life the way I want to live my life, right? But there was a period, even though I was doing it, I still cared about what people felt about me, right? But then I still continued to live my life. Those motherfuckers just got mad. They just got mad, right? It is what it is, right? But when I tell you I lived my life the way I wanted to live my life and I did what I wanted to fuck and do and I don't regret none of it, I'm okay with that, right? And now I'm to the point where still living my life the way I want to live my life, no longer caring what other people think. See how I graduated? You know what I mean? I cared, but I still did it. But now I don't give a fuck and I'm still do it. Right? And so now it just brings me more of a mental peace. Whereas before, even though I was still doing it, it still weighed on me a little bit. But now I'm at the point in my life where, you know what, take it or leave it, like me, love me, hate me, whatever the fuck it is. But I'm gonna do what I do. Love, peace, and middle grease. Right? And it gives me mental freedom.
because you're not letting opinions and other people's input dictate how you live your life.
Right. I'll listen to it. I mean, Angel, like how we come on here, we like, no, too soon, blah. See, we can say anything we want to say to you. We're giving it to you with love. We care about you. At
Right.
the end of the day, you have to live your life authentically and
Hmm.
do what the fuck you want to do. You need to do what makes you happy, right? And although we might say, don't do it, whatever, you know, your true support system is still gonna rock by your side and be like, we're gonna do this shit together. Fuck, you
Yeah.
know? Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. You know, Zen said I did it in the stairwell when I worked at for the state in the middle of the afternoon. It was hot. Mm,
Why does that not shock me?
exactly. I'm not shocked one bit he did it in the stairwell.
Why does that? Why am I not surprised?
I don't know.
Slightly turned on by it,
Yes, definitely.
but
Where
not
is Zen? Zen need to jump on.
right. Come on, Zen. Where you at?
Give
We
me
need to
10
fly.
minutes. I gotta open up a call. I'm
Oh, you did say you had to go at
not
9.
leaving though.
Oh, you just gotta be. You gotta be there.
I just need to open up the call
You
and
just
see.
gotta be in the room.
Yeah.
Yesterday's show was so freaking good. I want to rewind. I want to go back for just a
Okay,
minute.
go.
I just want to say that the whole topic of single mothers raising boys and girls and how it affects them throughout life is such a hot topic. Um, and I think that everybody's experience, whether they were raised by a single woman or raised by two women or raised by two men or raised by a man and a woman,
Yeah.
everybody's experience is different and it's valid.
Yeah.
It's valid. So, to protagonist's defense, his experience, what he went through, is 100% valid because that was his fucking experience.
Yes.
And then to Zen's point, hey boo,
Hey, boo.
Zen's point, his
I
experience
see
is
y'all need to move to YouTube.
100% valid because it's his. It's his. And we get into muddy water when we start making these generalizations.
Somebody needs to mute YouTube. Somebody has sound going on YouTube.
Is it echoing still?
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't think so.
Oh. I think we get into muddy water when we start making general statements, right? Like boys can be a woman can't raise a man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like those general statements are when that's when it gets messy. That's when it gets like you can't do that. You can't do that.
Right. Because you're mixing your experience up with other people's experience.
Exactly.
Your experience. Your experience is this. That's
Mhm.
what happened to you. Right.
Yeah.
But you can't put a general statement out there that says women can't raise boys
Right.
or men can't raise girls.
Right.
Can't
You can say that in my experience, I've seen blah 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 blah, or with me it was this way. But you can't make those general statements because when you do that, you're invalidating somebody else's experience, and that's not right, and it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's from my perspective, that's what we ran into yesterday. Is there was a very broad stroke statement made, and then it was just like, well, wait a minute, that wasn't my experience, and
Yeah.
that wasn't how I lived
I
through
just need 2 minutes.
But I think that the discussion yesterday was really, really good. And I love the fact, like what Robin said, that everybody had like these different viewpoints, but it was pretty respectful, and we were able to be respectful and acknowledge other people's. Well, I don't know if everybody's viewpoints was acknowledged, but we kept it classy. We kept it pretty damn classy. So I was proud of y'all. And I just love this community. Your average logical thinker says that's why I don't take protagonists or Zen's viewpoints. That's why they trigger me because it's their truths. Right. So their experience is valid. and you weren't triggered because like it was their experience and not your own. Protagonist says, I ain't never brought y'all no bullshit. It just may be uncomfortable, but eventually my words will impact our grandkids, which really where change can happen. I can speak in general when I have data to back it up. With only 5 minutes, I wasn't going to get into the math, but when y'all are ready, I'll validate my general statements unless we don't care about data. Well, I think that I'm not aware of any data that would be able to substantiate every single person's experience. You may have, I mean, and that's just my opinion, protagonist, and you know that that comes from a place of love and respect. But there's how can data support every single person's experience? It can give a majority of experiences reported. Like, no, everybody doesn't talk about what they've been through, and everybody doesn't, you know, I don't know. I and it's not that we don't care about data. It's that we have lived through experiences. I was raised by a single mother, um, who raised my single mother raised a very masculine man. Like she raised a man. And she also raised two very feminine women. I thrive in my femininities. So, like, does your data support that? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Hillbilly quoted a song. Wait, I think that was like a long time ago. Um, I didn't see the song. What was the song? Johnny, what was the song? Hillbilly says there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. And Jay-Z said that. Kinda. He said men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And that's true to a point. Johnny says statistics don't tell the whole story. Data is necessary, but it's not everyone's experience. So that's the issue with generalizations. Yeah, 100%. And Cheryl Lee says there's data out there for all situations. I just, I don't know. I don't know. It bothers me when somebody says that a single mom, can't raise a masculine male or a man, because I've seen it happen firsthand. Lived in the household where it happened. Um, there are always exceptions. Agree. Regardless of what the data may show, there's always exceptions. Look at the amount of black men on child support. Okay, what's what is your point with the number of black men on child support? Look at the number of men.
That protagonist.
Uh-huh. Look at the number of men. Look at the number of black men that are not on child support but take care of their kids. Look at
And,
the
and how many women are on child support? My girlfriend was on child support. She
right.
was
Like,
not off of child support.
where are you going with it? Where are you going with it?
Listen, this is what I tell people. I'm so sick of this child support topic, and this is not to offend you, protagonist, but just in general, right? Because I had to go through this with my son too, right? Y'all motherfuckers want to fuck without protection and then get mad when the women take y'all to child support court. I don't care what the reason is. I don't give a damn how toxic somebody is. Once you fuck with no protection, put yourself down as going to child support court. That's it, and that's all. You have to accept that reality. I don't know why people get mad at people when they put them on child support. It irritates my ass. Like, I know it's frustrating because it's the system. People don't want people in their business. If you don't want people in your business, wear a condom. If you're not ready to marry this woman and make her an honest woman, wear a condom. If you just want to go out there and recklessly fuck with no protection, then deal with the consequences. And be quiet. Now, this is the same thing I told my son. Now, this ain't nothing different. I'm going to tell every single man and every single woman out there that's facing child support court and baby daddy drama and all this kind of fucked up shit. I'm going to be like, A, you picked your baby daddy. A, you picked your baby mama. B, child support court is something that should be on your list automatically. And if you end up in child support court, be mad at your fucking self. Don't be mad at her, and then don't fight the system, because when you fight the system and you do fuck shit like my father did, not ever go back to work, right? My father never went back to work because he didn't want to pay child support. That's ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking ghetto. A
Yep.
lot of these men are out here doing shit to avoid paying child support, and ultimately the child fucking suffers, right? And the mother has to do whatever she needs to do to make sure there's food on that child's table. Now, if you are not seeing your kid, then you need to take your ass to court, and you need to keep taking your ass to court. You need to keep taking your ass to court to make sure you get visitation rights. But at any given moment, take care of your fucking child. Okay? Period.
Because here's the truth, and here's the honest to goodness truth, because I've been through family courts through DCFS. DCFS wants fathers in their child's lives. They want that. That is the
want that?
goal. That is the goal, to have fathers in the child's life.
Right.
And I'm gonna go so far as to say that in the experience that I was in, the parent had to do some really, really fucked up shit in order for the courts to remove the parental rights. It was bad. It was bad. And specifically, I'm speaking about adoption. My oldest son, if you guys didn't know, my oldest son, Anthony, the 17-year-old, is adopted. He has lived with me since he was 2 weeks old. When he was weaned off of methadone in the hospital, I went and picked him up on Valentine's Day 2006. And the way that the state of Illinois gave his birth mother chance after chance after chance to get her shit together and potentially come and take him from me is beyond me. It is absolutely beyond me. From my perspective, it's like, you're having babies every 13 months like clockwork. And as soon as you have these babies, you jumping up out the hospital so you can go get high again. Like, you don't need to have no babies. But the court system gave her 3 years to get her shit together. She had supervised visits to where I would take Anthony, and we would meet somewhere, and it wasn't a courthouse, it was like a social worker's office.
Yeah, like a mediation.
Yeah. And she would sit and she would meet and she would cry and hold his little baby and all this other stuff, and then we would leave. And then, next month we would have to fucking do it again. Mm-hmm. They gave her chance after chance after chance. And the reason why is because the courts want parents in their kids' lives. That's the goal.
They do.
That's the goal. And that was the name of like our court. Like they called it a return home goal. A return home goal. Because their goal was for my son to be returned to his birth mother.
Yeah.
That was their goal. And it took 3 years until they finally said, you've had long enough, and no.
Yeah. So, listen, my son's grandmother had these 2 babies from foster care as infants, brother and sister, and she tried to adopt them. She wasn't allowed to adopt these kids until they were like, I think the boy was like 8 and the girl was a little older. She had these kids for years because they gave the biological parents time and time after time to get their lives together before another family adopted their children. Right. And so I agree with you, Angel. They do. Listen, I've been through the court. I've never taken my baby daddy to court, but I've been through it with my son. Right. And he was bitter about it. And I went through the same conversation with him. He was bitter about it for a long time because when he was locked up, his child support was building up. He was getting the arrears. And when he came home, he was like in debt, $80,000 or whatever. And every time he was driving, looking for a job, the cops pull him over. He was getting arrested. He was like, I'm trying to find a job. You guys keep flagging me and arresting me for child support. How can I pay the shit if I can't? And it was just one thing after another. And he was so bitter. It took him years. and the birth of his third child to really step into, you know what? You choose this shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You choose this shit.
Yep.
Okay? You choose this shit. And so for years he was bitter. So protagonist, I didn't say you quit your job to avoid, I'm paying child support, but I'm telling you what happened my dad never went back to work. He didn't go back to work. But the one thing that salvaged me and my father's relationship was, and this is the one thing I tell people is kids don't care about money.
At
I
all.
didn't find out about the money shit until I was old enough to understand that he didn't go back to work and he wasn't paying child support. But the one thing I did have was him in my life, right? And so I didn't miss the aspect of the financial piece because I didn't know. Now, my mother might have been suffering, but I didn't know that, right? Financially. But, in your case, protagonist, you're not seeing him and there's a battle over child support. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, right? And you have to keep going to court to be able to get your visitation. That's it, and that's all. Right? These are the things, these are the risks that we take when we lay the fuck down. No protection. Why y'all be mad at these women for taking y'all to child support court? I don't I don't understand. It'll never work hard. I'll never work hard until I'm off of it. So see, you just said exactly
Oh,
what my dad did. You just did that. That is toxic. Like you just said, I'll never work hard until I'm off of it, which means that your child will not be financially taken care of because you refuse to do better financially on the books because you don't want the courts to take your money, which benefits your child because you, like some of these other population of men out here, feel that women are out here getting their fucking nails painted and their hair weaves done with your $50 child support money. That's not what the fuck is happening, y'all.
guess what though? His son's gonna be okay.
No, but his son is going to be okay. But what about his relationship with his son?
That's gonna suffer, but
His
no.
son will be okay. Oh, what section we skip?
Okay.
I'm not reading it because I hate that child support shit. What section we skip?
Okay. He was talking about data. He said, look at the amount of black men on child support. Look at the amount of marriages and divorce. Look at who initiates most divorce. Then he said, now combine those and extrapolate why women who fight for independence are contributing to feminine men. And in turn, y'all girls dump us and the cycle continues.
What? Wait, what?
Look at the amount of black men on child support, the amount of marriages that end in divorce, and who initiates most divorce. I think he's inferring that women initiate divorce, that there's a high number of marriages that end in divorce, which I can agree with.
Yeah. That's true.
And that there's a high amount of black men on child support.
That's true.
Okay.
This is on. So let him. I can't hear
you.
Yeah. I can't hear you.
I can't.
He has no sound. So yeah.
Okay. So he's saying now combine those and extrapolate why women who fight for independence. What does that have to do with dick? What does that have to do with anything? Are contributing to feminine men and in turn, like.
Oh, let me put the chat overlay on because I don't know. I'm lost. I can't comment. I really can't. I don't know. I'm lost. It has nothing.
And then he says, and in turn, y'all girls dump us, and the cycle continues. So
I don't understand that. Who's y'all?
Dumping. Okay, you have to understand that the relationship between a woman and a man is separate, completely separate from the relationship and the financial, the fiduciary responsibilities of both parents to that child.
Yeah.
They're completely different. They have nothing to do with each other. So you could meet somebody who you don't give a fuck about, fuck them in a bathroom, get pregnant, and that baby.
No sound, boo.
the financial responsibility is on those two parents. Like, so women who fight for independence and jump the men and the cycle continues, that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. Agnes, you have no sound. Hey Zen, welcome back.
Can you hear me
All
now?
right, we got a heated discussion over here that I'm not participating in, mostly because it makes child support topics make my ass itch, because I think people just need to pay for the shit and be quiet. I mean,
Stop crying and fucking pay.
I don't know what more is there to say. Like, it really is so fucking irresponsible of us as adults to be fucking and making kids and then mad when you end up in child support court. Like, just know that if you do that and this is not your wife, A, you're being irresponsible. So take the risks that come with that. All right. B, if you have a baby, you might think she's nice, right? But as soon as you piss her off, you're gonna end up in child support court. Don't be mad at her. Be mad at the choice you made. You have an accountability here. You fucked her with no protection. Right. And now there's a population of men, because I'm not going to say all, there's a population of men that walk around and be like, I'm not paying child support. I don't give a fuck. She not getting my money. Meanwhile, the kid is suffering. The kid is not suffering. Let me not say that, because my dad did pay child support and I ate every day. Okay. The kid is going to survive. But ultimately, how can you fucking sleep at night knowing that, and I'm sorry, okay, knowing that you're purposely not working to make more money because you don't want your kid to get it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to me. And that triggers me because my dad did it. And I'm like, how the fuck do you live like that? Like, how do you not work or not do your best financially to avoid your kid getting it because you're trying to be mad at the mom?
So
No, man, y'all
I
make me
think what you guys are saying is basically what happened to me yesterday, right? And first and foremost, I just want to say that I apologize for the way that I popped off. I was upset for a couple of reasons. One, because I grew up being called feminine, a girl, a faggot, etc. I mean, whatever. I mean, from the time I was 5 years old, this was my first experience. So yeah, it was a trigger when you say that boys grow up feminine because of insert whatever you think it is.
Whatever the reason. Right.
Right.
You have both your parents.
So when someone makes those statements about femininity, it really brings all those things back to me. So, and on top of the fact that I get upset that protagonists, you make these statements and you make them blindly and blanketly, right? You make very broad strokes in terms of the things that you believe, and you might believe them to you, but it doesn't make them true, right? I know that you're hurt, and I know you've been hurt by many people for a long time. And it literally pains me to see you go through this. But what upsets me more is that you mask things and you say stuff like, I don't believe in relationships. But here's the thing, when you make these statements, it's going to trickle down to your son. Right? And then these thoughts, your son's going to have this perspective that it's coming from a place of hurt that he didn't even experience. Therefore, he doesn't have that context of where it's derived from. So he's just going to have these beliefs for just because that's what his dad taught him. Right? So please know what I said was out of frustration for sure. And it was coupled by my own trauma from my childhood. But mostly it was because I want better things for you and for your son. It's true that I don't know you, but I've seen your comments. I've seen your content online, and there's clues as to the spaces that you've existed with pain
Yeah.
previously.
Mhm.
I want to see you and your son both prosper and to be happy legitimately without cynicism, and thoroughly enjoy the positive things that life has to offer you. But I feel like if you can't get out of that pain, you're never going to understand when these things are coming towards you to be able to receive them properly.
Mm.
So, you know, I just that's my very long-winded
I love
apology,
that.
but I just wanted to, definitely share that with everybody. And I apologize to the group for, for also, kind of popping off to everybody, but mostly to you, protagonists.
I love that. Thank you, Rich, for apologizing. That is big of you. This is definitely a healing platform, and so I definitely expect people to get triggered. I don't want people to get triggered, but I expect that there are going to be people triggered by the topics and the things that we talk about on here, being that we talk about almost everything and anything, and we try to make this a safe space, right? But this is what accountability looks like, right? So, like
Mhm.
even though Zen was triggered, right? And protagonist is given his perspective, right? Zen came back and he said, you know what? I was triggered. He took accountability in that, because the one thing we talk about here is that you are responsible for your triggers. I'm responsible for my trigger, right? And so I have lost it and have been triggered around my friends. And I have come back and I have said, you know what? That triggered me because of this. Same thing you did, Zen, and I apologize, but that's growth. Like, a lot of
Mhm.
people are not there yet, right? They just feel like they're triggered and they said what the fuck they said, and that's it. We got to deal with it. But this is why I love y'all. So thank you, Zen.
Mhm.
What funnier thing is, I had hillbilly in my head, and the comment that he made is, when you go from a boy to a man, is learning how to control
Ah,
your
he,
temper,
he did say
right?
that yesterday. He did.
And
He
That was
did.
good.
the whole time I'm fuming and
Yep.
trying to type, I'm thinking this in my head, and hillbilly, I thought really long, um, and hard about what you said, and it's something I know I need to work on. So, but thank you for that.
Wait, protagonist, what do you mean? You said so Raw can yell, but you can't. Who said you can't yell?
Oh, he's looking for the guest link, I think.
Oh, I put it up there. That's how y'all got on here.
I have it saved. It didn't. It,
Oh, but
it
I
went
put it up
away.
I
Yeah.
saw it's on there.
It's on here. I put it on
Scroll up.
here earlier, protagonist.
Click on all messages and scroll
Don't
up.
worry me, protagonist. I put the guest link up every day. You can come on here. I know I'm late in the comments, protagonist. I'm purposely not keeping up with the comments because it's a lot of comments, and I can't keep up with them right now. But that's why I'm doing chat overlay so everybody can see the comments so that I don't have to read them all. We can all see them together, right? And we can grab onto the ones that we want to elaborate on. Deb Gibson said, "You, thank you, Zen. You and protagonist are both loved, and we simply want people to make sure the information they share, um, make sure the information they share be as close to factual as possible and rooted in love." Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Is he joining?
I don't know. I put the link up there because, oh, your average logical thinker, emotional intelligence is key. A lot of people don't have emotional
They
intelligence.
don't. They don't. It's not
Oh, there
coming.
you go. All right. Let's go. Let's get it popping now. Oh, he left. What the hell is wrong with him? That was quick.
Can 4 people get on? You want me to sign?
No, he can get on. I can
Okay.
have
Because I really want to finish my breakfast. I feel bad
what are
eating.
you eating? No, F that. I got a whole conference call going on in the kitchen. Is that yogurt?
Cottage cheese and
Oh,
tomatoes.
cottage cheese. I love eating the
Zen, your face.
I know that's terrible. I love eating the
With black pepper?
no, the Faye.
Yeah.
Fi-
I mean,
fi-
if it was
what is that
ricotta
yogurt
cheese,
called? Faye.
Fire.
Yeah, Faye. I
Fire. Greek yogurt.
love the plain yogurt with granola. That's what I eat. Hey, protagonist, go ahead with your frowned up mouth. What you got to say?
Oh no, no, I'm doing paperwork, so that's not the most interesting job of mine. But
Okay.
first off, can y'all hear me? Because I don't
Yeah,
have as good internet as y'all. So,
you good.
you
and
You
then
good.
I'm gonna
sound good.
try to lower my voice because someone said in the comments they don't want me yelling. So I'm gonna try to act
Somebody said
like I
that?
used to work 9 to 5. So watch. Um,
Yeah, tell
what
us how
was
you
going
feel.
on was we was having a discussion stemming from yesterday, right?
Okay, yeah.
And remember you had stepped out, and when you walked in you just read one part of my statement, but it was like a 4 or 5 part statement and they all went together.
Okay, so
So the first part was along the lines of look at the data of child support. I wasn't complaining about child support. I actually gave up. I don't care no more. I don't play with me. I don't work on purpose and I'm worth a whole lot and my son is actually already rich. She's not getting the money. He's getting all the money. So you know what I mean. When I say I'm not working, that's a literal sense. But
mhm,
my son, come on, man, that dude's rich. He got accounts in his name, and the courts could take my name away, but his social security number is a rich little mf'er. All right, I'm gonna put it like that. So I'm doing everything for him,
yeah,
not the fact that she switched up on me. Things happen, right? People switch. It is what it is.
yeah.
Now, the reason why I mentioned child support was for the data piece of it.
Mm-hmm,
How many men are on child support versus the women? That is a numerical fact. That's not my opinion. So when
mm-hmm.
I say more men are on child support, that was one part. The next part was who is initiating divorce? This is mathematical. I'm not even trying to like be funny or trigger anybody.
I'm gonna answer that question though, but go ahead. I want you
No,
to
you
get.
can.
No, I write it down. No, I want you to get your thoughts out. I don't want
Okay.
to interrupt you.
Women initiate divorce more than men. That is a fact in the United States of America. Now, if that's good or bad, I'm not here to talk about that. Why the men are messing up, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm giving you the facts because
But
once you have the
how
numbers,
can you give that
No,
fact?
let him give his thoughts. Go ahead, protagonist.
I mean, what you want to do? You go look it up, Angel, and then come back
No,
while
I
I'm
agree with
talking.
you. I
Yeah,
agree with
we
you.
agree with
I
you.
agree with you.
But I'm
I agree.
making I'm leading that to go to the next part,
Okay,
which
let's
is
go.
okay. Now let's talk about the women in the work field because I had mentioned this before and it continues to be a trigger. I'm not here to trigger anybody. I'm here to bring facts and then what y'all do with them is your business. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So
Wait,
Oh,
what?
it was just getting good.
Yeah, it was
I was
getting good.
ready.
Protagonist, come back. I gotta check my meeting.
He get a phone call or something?
He did what?
Did he get a phone call or
Did
something?
he
He
get a
might
phone
have.
call?
I
Okay,
don't
to his point, I'm sure that there are
wait.
more men than women on child support. The
Mm-hmm.
reason why is because more women have have
Ooh,
custody of
y'all.
their children.
I was and so and John and Jay Tosh. Is that a newcomer on YouTube? Jay
Jen Tosh.
Tosh?
Mm-hmm. She
Okay,
said
Jay
the same
Tosh
thing.
said women tend to be the custodial parents. Same
Right,
thing you're saying.
right. And then what else did he say? He said, and more women file for divorce.
Well,
First
because
of
men are
all,
lazy. Men are lazy.
why?
Men
Why
are
are we
lazy.
filing for divorce?
Men are
Why?
lazy. Men don't file for divorce. I have a
Part of
whole
being
uncle who's still
But
married to my
part
aunt.
of emotional intelligence is being willing to accept the role that you played in the fucking movie. If you do some fuck shit and a woman decides to leave your ass for it,
Yep.
that is that's not on her. That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. And for you to blame the woman for leaving because being in a toxic environment, how the fuck do we choose ourselves? How do we choose our own happiness over somebody else's and then you fault us for it?
Yeah.
That's gaslighting. That's
Yep.
gaslighting. That's saying like, oh, your reaction to what I did for you did to you is wrong.
Yep.
You shouldn't divorce me because of what I did to you. That's fucking manipulative as shit. So at that point, fuck your data. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Now I'm triggered.
You know, I feel like this. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like, okay, my ex that I just 3 years ago broke up with. When I met him, he was separated, living in a whole separate apartment from his wife, but not divorced, right? And one of my stipulations was, and I told this story on here before, when I got with him and we moved in together, I said, I'm giving you a year. And we wrote a contract and we signed it with witnesses. I even went to his masjid where his imam was, because I was like, the Muslim community will not talk about me. All right. I am not into multiple women in relationships. He's got 1 year to get a divorce or I'm leaving. The whole year, I'm like, you get divorced. She don't want to sign the paper. She don't want to do it. I don't give a fuck. Figure out how you're going to get divorced. When the year came, Robin packed up her whole house, gave all her furniture to her son, and left. I went to Florida for a couple of months. I was like, I said I'm the fuck out. In 3 months, that motherfucker was divorced. I came back. The point of the story is lazy. They won't do it unless, in my opinion, some of the guys that I've met, they're okay with it. I have a whole uncle who's still married to my aunt. They ain't been together for 40 years. Why y'all still married? Because my aunt is not going to file the divorce papers. And so because she's not going to do it, my uncle is okay with that. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's the women who goes and initiates the divorce, like the papers and shit like that. Because men, to me, the men that I know, not all men, will sit. Like my ex's brother, still married to his wife. They ain't been together in 20 something years. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Why? I feel like men, some men don't go down and initiate the divorce. They're okay with not going through the paperwork because some men put in their mind, I ain't gonna get married again anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. Right? And then as far as the men in child support, I agree with Jentosh and Angel. Most of the women are custodial parents. My girlfriend that I talked about, she was not the custodial parent and she was on child support. And when she didn't pay her child support, guess what? They put it in the Hooskow twice in Atlanta, Georgia. When she had no job, they put her in jail. She went to jail twice for skipping child support payments. So women do get put on child support. All right.
It happens.
You know, it does happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for me, oh, I know why. Okay, 1 second. Stupid. All this time I had no damn sound because my headset was on. Grand Rising, guys, can y'all hear me now? Yeah, so I mean, protagonist, I mean, I know we seem to be coming down on you hard on this show or whatever, but it's all because we love you, right? And we want to see everyone grow healthy, right? And not to say that the advice that we give or our opinions matter, because we just said live authentically, right? So if you think that how you're living your life is to the best of your ability and you think that you are doing the best and the right thing, then continue to do that. All we're giving you is our opinions, which we just read. You don't have to give 2 fucks about.
Right.
You don't have to give 2 fucks about, because, you know, the topic today is really about living authentically, not caring what people think. But also it's hard because a part of this platform is talking about loving our community, right? And loving our community means taking care of the kids in it too. Okay, good. You know, I want to join, but I don't want y'all to talk bad about my Wi-Fi. Come on, Johnny.
Stop it.
Anyway. Jentosh says, my ex was living with his new partner for a whole 2 years and didn't file for divorce. So I filed. See? You see? My ex was living with his new partner for a whole 2 years and didn't file for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So you filed. That's what I'm talking
about. Where in the statistics is that?
Exactly. Where in the statistics does it show, you know, the reason why women are the ones to file the divorce?
And right? Somebody said that too. Somebody said, who said that?
Cheryl Lee says some don't do it because it's cheaper to keep them. It's truth to that song. I think that's why my uncle is still married. He don't want to pay up that money up front out of his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you figure if you retire, the worst that's going to happen is she'll get a monthly check. You don't have to worry about splitting that 401k
Right.
and your shit down and giving her a big lump sum check. No, we're agreeing with you with the data. We don't have to look up the data. We're saying the data is there. We agree with you. But beyond the stats that shows there's more women who file for divorce, you know, the reason why they do that is what?
Deb Gibson said, how do you drop facts without providing the whys? As a sociology major, we explored all angles. We can't just spit out a statistic without exploring why that statistic is occurring. That's all I'm saying.
Come on, Deb.
That's it.
Come on, Deb.
That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Women would rather run than work. That's why. Wait a minute, Easy Blue. I have TikTok on live now because, you know, they be popping. Easy Blue said women would rather run than work. That's why. You mean they would rather run out the relationship than to work and contribute financially? Is that what you're saying? Easy, you think so? What y'all think? You think women rather run than work? You mean work on the relationship, not work meaning corporate job or whatever. There go Johnny Leon Hell. Oh, right, Easy Blue. I love you. He says some. He went back. He went back and corrected. No, leave me alone. He went back and corrected.
Wi-Fi's good, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, we see you. Can we?
Hey. Let me close this door real quick.
Okay, Easy Blue. Not financially. Yes, work on the relationship. Okay, Easy. That's a good one. He's saying he finds that women would rather leave than to work on the issues in the relationship. What's up, Johnny?
What's going on? So I'm like Angel. I'm a little triggered myself. So I'm going to try to keep this as concise and as calmly as I possibly can. I put in the chat and I said that the problem that I had with protagonist's points was he was conflating them. He's putting so many different points together to make his argument feel like it's stacked and you can't argue past the statistics, and that's not the case. That had going to court or going to child support or any of those things have nothing to do with growing up in a single family home and growing up feminine. I'm missing the connection to why that has to do with anything. That doesn't make sense to me. So I need him to come back on to connect those dots to his points, because right now it's like you throwing out these facts and numbers to bolster your point, but your point has nothing to do with what your initial statement was. And I grew up in a single family home. My mom raised me. I knew where my father was, but he didn't live in a house with us. And I didn't grow up feminine. Most of my friends are the same way. And so I have a problem with this data that he keeps throwing out. Secondly, another problem that I have, and it's this whole narrative that's going around, social media is going around, and maybe I might be projecting a little bit, but the problem that I have is there is no accountability. Men are like throwing all of this blame on women, on why these women, why these boys are growing up the way they are. Nigga, where are you? Where are you in your child's life?
Baby,
my uncle, my uncle had a daughter. The mother wanted to get married. She moved out. She moved out of state. He was paying child support, and they was like. So my mom was like, mom asked him. He was like, "Can you get in touch with your daughter?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know where she at." You can find out. You know, your money's going someplace. You can find out where your checks are going to go get your child. So I have a problem with these men who are always pointing the finger out towards women and saying that they're, oh, well, they not doing this, they not doing that. If you step up and do your job, then you eliminate that excuse.
Yeah.
You can't. Women should have done this. Women should. I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it. Men are not stepping up into their rightful positions in their rightful place in their child's life, and then they're turning it around and saying, "Well, this is the reason why the relationship didn't work. This is your mother." No, stop with all of
It's
that.
giving.
That bothers me.
It's giving that you hate women. It's very much
And
giving misogyny. It's very much giving.
It's hating women, but it's also coupled with this lack of accountability on our part.
Yeah.
And it's us not stepping up to the plate and saying, look, this is what we need to do. This is what it's always what she didn't allow me to do, or what she didn't, what I couldn't do. Man, it is your responsibility to step up. And if you got to swallow some crow to say, listen, for the sake of my child, for the sake of my relationship with my child, then I'm going to contort myself in certain things so I can go ahead and have this relationship. I will do what I need to do for my child. There will be no excuses, because one day that child's going to be grown and that child's going to have questions, and everything can't be your mama. Because guess what? That child lived in the house with their mama, and they seen their mama every day. And what you're saying about their mom is not adding up to their reality. So I have a problem with that. But
exactly.
I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm getting a little heated, and I want y'all to finish the show.
No. This is a part of the show. This is all a part of the show, right? And so I'm glad you said that, Johnny, because when I was raising my son, one of the things that I dealt with, and this was one of the, probably what led me into depression during a period in my life, because when I was raising my son, I always vowed that I was going to raise him, different or better than from the experiences that I had growing up. And so when I became a statistic, the teenage mom, having this child, I worked really, really hard. So when my son started to get in trouble with the popo, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm ghetto. People are going to think this. They're going to think I'm a bad mom, or whatever. Because the first thing people say is, whose mother? What this mother done did? Who raised this child? What mother raised this child? They never say, where's the dad? What the fuck the dad done did? The dad done raised this child. It was always the mother raised this child wrong, or the mother is not teaching this child manners, or it's the mother's fault why their child is ghetto, or whatever the case may be. And it saddened me, because I felt like everything that my son was going through was my fault. Like it was something missing from what I needed to give him as a parent. And I fell into a depression because I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me like, whose mother is this? Right. And not one time did anybody ever ask about his dad. And I'm like, what in the holy fuck? Like, y'all don't care that his dad was a crackhead. Y'all don't care that I had to do this shit by myself. Y'all don't care about none of that. Y'all just looking at, he got arrested and his mother must be crap. Right? It's terrible.
Yeah, and I have a problem. I have a problem with that. I have this. I mean, it's no secret. I've shared on this before. I'm a Christian. I hold myself to a different, a higher standard. I do my best to live my life a certain way, and I don't have a problem with how anyone else chooses to live their life. And like we've talked about living and being authentic and things like that. So I'm very receptive and accepting of who doesn't live the way I choose to live. I'm just I look at it, but I also feel like there's a point of accountability that you have to have in your situations. And regardless of however you choose to live, when you're dealing with other people, when you're dealing with in relationships, and I also put up there in the chat, like when you have sex with no protection, it's a roll of the dice. You're gonna get what you get. You
Yeah,
you might sometimes you might crap out. Sometimes you might roll a 7. It
yeah,
is what it is. But
yeah.
um, but my whole thing is when you start to it's the pointing the finger outward. If I'm always self-assessing myself in my relationship with my wife, in my relationship with my kids. I'm always thinking, how can I be better? How can I do this better? Am I giving as much as I can give to the relationship? Am I
Yeah.
doing? And I'm not looking at it as in the sense of give and take. I'm looking at it solely from the point of me as the giver.
Mm-hmm.
If I start to try to balance it out or try to weigh what she does, what my wife does compared to what I do, or um, any of those things, it's always going to be an imbalance. It's not always going to be a 50-50 or 100% relationship. It's always going to be somebody's going to give sometimes a little more than the other person. And if I focus on me, if I focus on what I am doing, then if she loves me, then she will show me, she will reciprocate.
Yeah.
She will give it back. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at it like, well, I do this. You get into a place where you're resentful. You get into a
Yeah.
place where you know, where you start to do tit for tat and things like that, and you never get anywhere in the relationship. So
Yep.
when you start pointing that finger outwards, that's when I have a problem. Do the
Yeah.
self-assessment, do the work on yourself to see how you can be better. And
I
then
love.
if you be better, then I guarantee you the relationship will be better.
Yeah. Easy Blue from TikTok said, as men, we get too many passes when it comes to parenting.
We do. We do. We do because we the mother we look at women as, oh, they're so much more nurturing, they're more emotional and giving, and it's like we can sit back and we can just kind of like pop in, and
Yep.
even when we're there, we
Mhm.
can be there and still not be there. And
Yep.
so we have to work harder, and I'm speaking for me as a father of 3 children. I had to work hard to be present in my children's life. It wasn't something that was natural for me. It was something that I had to work at, and I had to be diligent about doing it. I had to be the one that said, "No, I need to get up. Yeah, I don't want to go to this recital. No, I don't want to hear, these bad flute playing kids in elementary school." But
Right.
I gotta get up and do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I gotta, yeah, I worked hard all week and I just want to sit in front of the television. But it's a
Yeah.
nice day outside. Let's go out to the park. Let's throw the frisbee around. Let me teach them how to play football or basketball, things like that. And I had to work at being present when it came naturally to my wife.
Mhm.
So
Now,
I
protagonist, your baby
agree with
mama is on EBT, so your son eat very good. That's the reason why you're on child support. I just want to let you know that, right? Your baby mama is getting food stamps, right? Which means she's getting social services, right? That's why you on child support. And you mad at your baby mama, but I've told you several times that when when your baby mamas out there, fellas, get on welfare, get on social services, expect the government to pay their rent and stuff when these baby daddies are not taking care of their kids, believe you me, the government puts these baby daddies on child support. They
Mhm.
are not paying for shit for these kids if they can find these baby daddies. And so, protagonist, you are a product of that. She's on government assistance, all right, which means that taxpayers are paying for your kid and the government is looking around like, fuck that. You're going to pay for this kid too. So they force her to put you on child support. That's a process that comes from social services. And y'all be mad about this, but my question is this, and this is going to hurt feelings. Oh my God, this is going to hurt motherfucking feelings. But why y'all mad when the welfare people take y'all to child support? Because what your baby mama doing on welfare in the first place?
it's a
What
good
your baby
question.
mama doing on welfare? If
I'm
you
gonna go,
don't
y'all. I'm gonna go back and go
want,
jump in the chat.
all right, thank you, Johnny. If you don't want to pay child support, why she on welfare?
Because he said he's not going to work hard until he's off child support. So,
right, Deb. And so that's what happens. Deb Gibson said, and the government should be looking for the other parent. Two people laid down and had the child. And I agree with that. And I agree with that. Like, and this is why I don't understand why people get upset over having to pay child support, right? Your baby mama is on welfare. How do these baby daddies that are out here making money, right? Making money. How do y'all sleep at night knowing your baby mamas is on welfare? I'm just saying. And Hillbilly had a really good question. Hillbilly asked, can you parent a child, right? Can you parent and not be with the mother? Yes, Hillbilly, I believe you can be a parent and not necessarily be. I know a lot of people who co-parent, right? Angel is one. She talks about her co-parenting experience on here all the time. All right. You can co-parent and still be a parent, and not be with the baby mother or the baby daddy. That's where good co-parenting skills comes into play, right? But there are so many couples out there that are operating from a toxic space. Baby mamas that are bitter because they're no longer with their baby daddies, or baby daddies that are upset because their baby mama has put them on child support. And then, this is how all the toxic shit happens. And in the realm of all of this toxic shit happening, we ultimately forget about the care of the child. Right? We ultimately, it's about the kids, right, Easy Blue? It's about the kids, and we lose sight of that. And people will argue down and be like, well, my son will be okay, or my daughter will be okay. Why? Because you can sleep at night knowing that that mother is going to make sure that your child is okay. But is that fair? Right? How many sleepless nights she's having trying to figure out if her son is going to eat. I remember, okay, living in an apartment, being in the dark, no electricity, no nothing, begging people for food. And I still hadn't taken my baby daddy to child support court because I knew that I was only going to get $25 a month. I couldn't be bothered. Okay? Right? But nobody is losing sleep over the fact that I'm trying to feed my child. I'm knocking on doors begging for food, but nobody is looking for the baby daddy. Everybody's expecting the mom, me, to pull up to the bumper and make sure this child is taken care of. This child is fed, washed, in school the next day, and well taken care of 24/7. Hey, Maurice. Right? And so protagonist is not that we are really trying to help you. We're not being negative. We know that, this whole experience for you has been, has affected your emotions maybe a little bit. And it's hard because you guys don't have the best co-parenting experience, not experience, but the best co-parenting relationship. Right? And you're saying that she doesn't let you see your son, so you have to keep going through the court system. My thing is that once you decide, I can't say it enough, to have sex without protection, know that these obstacles and challenges are automatically going to be on your plate. Okay, if you happen to get a baby mama that doesn't care about taking you to child support, so be it. Count your blessings. But really and truly, why would a woman, or a man for that fact, whoever the custodial parent is, expect the other parent to not contribute financially? Like, that's whack. Right? Georgie said, my son's father told me he was going to make sure I wouldn't get more than $200 a month if I ever put him on child support. When I went to the service and sent him checks for $200 a month, and he's still what? I need to hear more. He's still what? Protagonist says she messed up because I was paying 4 times the amount child support is asking me. Let me go up. She messed up because I was paying 4 times the amount child support was asking me, 2 times cash. So basically she gambled and lost. It's similar to, and now my son probably gonna cuss me out because I'm talking about him, right? Now I remember having conversations with my son, right? And I told him, yes, you do give money, right? But you give it on your schedule. That's another problem, y'all. There's a lot of people walking around talking about, I was giving her money. Okay, this month you gave her money on the 1st. Next month you gave her money on the 15th. The next month you gave her money, but you shorted her $100. The next month you skipped the month because you didn't have it, right? It becomes inconsistent for some people, right? And that's how my son was. He was skipping the month or skipping the payment or paying less and doing whatever he wanted to do, right? But yet his son was still in baseball, basketball, and all these things are still costing money. And the mother has to step in and fill in these gaps, whether the dad pays on time or not. And because my son was not paying consistently, he ended up on child support court, right? That was the reason the baby mother gave, right? And when he got mad about it, I looked at him and I said, how could you be mad? How could you be mad? It's like rent. Rent is due every month on the 1st. Pay the shit on the 1st. Every month, the same amount. You can't give them half the rent on the 1st and be like, I'll catch you later. Right. Maurice, that's true. Easy said, people just need to stop weaponizing something that should be helping. Now, that's true. Now see, Easy E, you said something that was key, and I gotta close down my show in a little while. But weaponizing, now that's when it becomes a problem, when child support is used as a weapon. And so, protagonist, you might think that that's what she's doing, but I truly believe that child support for her was forced on her because she's collecting government assistance. Oh, no, yeah, I wasn't triggered because of you, protagonist. I was just triggered because y'all were talking about child support. It wasn't anything you specifically said at that moment. I came in and heard y'all talking about child support, and I automatically got triggered. Okay? Valerie, you ain't never damn lie. These women do it all the time. Use the children as a weapon. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Johnny said you pay on what you feel is a priority. So when you skip a month on your child support, you pay them a little less, something took priority over your kid. Georgie said I was cool with his wife later on in life, and she said when I would get behind, he would talk shit about me. Then the last 4 years I was paying, he was on child support for the 2 kids they had. Oh, shit. Child support was one small piece of my argument, and you ran with it. Well, you talked about child support. You talked about the divorce rate. You talked about women raising men raising girls. And we hit on all those points. You said Angel ain't stopped me. Georgie said his child support was for them, was $75 more than what I sent, and was always on time by then, and he would stay late. Hillbilly said, when the child turns 18, he could hate you and take all the money from the business as a revenge. Wow. Listen, y'all, you know what I say. Child support, baby mama and baby daddy is always a sticky topic, right? Because it comes with so much damn emotion, right? And I say this, right? When we lay down, we choose the people we lay with. We do. Right? We choose the people we lay with. And then when it doesn't work out and we have these kids and it doesn't work out, then it becomes so toxic and we forget the one important thing that means something. And that is our children. Right? And so for me, thank God my mother didn't get so bitter because she wasn't getting the money that she kept me from my dad. She didn't do that. Right? No, she wasn't getting any money, but her thing was, you still gonna go to fucking see your dad. Right? And so baby mamas out there, for y'all that are not letting y'all baby daddy see your child, is whack. Because you picked him. Right? You need to take accountability in the man that you picked to father your child. That don't have nothing to do with the relationship your child needs to build with their father. Thank my mother for that. For making me understand that. Okay? And I done told y'all on here, my dad was one of those people that quit working because he didn't want to pay child support. But I didn't know that until I got old enough to understand that. By that time, I had developed a relationship with my dad based on the time that I spent, and the money meant nothing to me. It might have meant everything to my mother at that time because she was struggling. We grew up poor. I ate mayonnaise sandwiches and shit, right? But you pick these men. You pick these women. And so exactly, she put you in your mental first, Roy. She did. And I thank her for that. Because my dad's dead now, rest in peace, right? But I had a relationship with my dad. I have a relationship with my brothers that are not from my mom. And he treated us all equal. He ain't work for none of us. But he was there. You pick who you lay with, right? But never lose sight on what the important factor is here, and that is the child. And believe me, I've had this conversation with my son. My son is 40 years old. We've been through this. He was a dad at 18. I've been through this conversation. So I'm not saying it to y'all because I don't believe my son would have to walk in these same shoes. He has 3 children. Child support. He's been on child support for 2. 1 is paid for. He's still on child support for 1. Living custodial parent with the 3rd. And the one thing I argue my son up and down with, I don't give a fuck how you feel about child support. And I'm telling you, if he was on this show right now, he would tell you I'm not lying, right? I don't give a fuck how mad you are at that baby mama. You make sure you get visitation rights. I sat with him in court with the first one. Okay? So by the time the second came around, I didn't need to sit in court. He knew what the fuck to do. Okay? Get your visitation rights. Be a good parent. Don't let the adult issues tamper into the mental state of that child. Juanita said, with the amount of men out here that don't want to see their children, the ones that do should be allowed. It shouldn't be because he doesn't want you. You decided he doesn't see them. Valerie said, yeah, my mom tried to keep my dad from me, but he still came around to see me, and she'd get mad, but he still came, as he should. As he should. Georgie said, if it wasn't for his wife, I would have missed so much. He wouldn't let my son give me or his stepmom a ticket to his high school graduation. That's mean. You say he's vindictive? Donovan said, I co-parent my children. Donovan, yes, you do. I'm a witness to that. Hillbilly asks, can you parent the child without being in the same house with the child? Right? And Donovan said, I co-parent my children. You keep saying we missed your point. Well, we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper into your point because I'm not sure what point we missed, right? The only point, I think that by now we have the overall concept of what's going on, right, between you and your baby mama. You and your baby mama, she's not letting you see the child. She put you on child support. That's basically it, right? She's not letting you see the child, but she put you on child support. And I keep telling you that she didn't put you on child support. Social services put her on child support. But when you speak, you still speak like you're blaming her, like it's her fault that she's on social services, right? It's her fault she's on welfare. That's what I'm hearing. Because if she wasn't on welfare, then maybe you wouldn't be on child support, right? So I'm having an issue because you're blaming her for needing the money, right? And you're blaming her for taking a route that she had no control over. right? Now, the only thing that you should be mad at is that you don't get to see your child, but you have control over that. You have to go to court to do that. And I mean, listen, like I said, if I hadn't been through this with my son, I know for sure if you go to court, you will get visitation rights. And if they give you visitation rights, and if you go to pick up your son and she does not allow you to pick up your son, then you have every right to call 911 with your visitation right paperwork, and you show the police officers this paperwork, and your issues will be resolved and she will get in trouble. See, you have to learn to use the system on your side. Yeah, you didn't mention your child support. We just use that as an example, protagonist, but we're just talking about child support in general, but you're personalizing it. We're just talking in general. I just used your situation as an example. You said, how am I blaming her when she now gets 1/4 of what I used to send? Y'all missed my point, because if I wanted to blame her, that would be a reflection on me. When I say blame, protagonist, and you're not going to get my point, right? Because you're emotionally tied to this. When I say blame, the way you come across and the way you verbalize, it's like you're angry at her, right? You said she gets 1/4 of what you send. She's stupid. You used to send, well, you didn't call her stupid. You used to send 4 times the amount, but this is not her fault. So as many times as you say, why would she take me? I used to pay 4 times more. This is not her fault. If she's on government assistance, they push the envelope for that, right? This has nothing to do with that, right? And so when you say stuff like, I'm not going to work, or I'm not going to make a lot of money on the books purposely, that's all the stuff like you're doing that to hurt who? That's the kind of stuff that I was saying. Valerie said, at Michelle, yeah, my dad was really sweet. He spoiled me still. Oh, he spoils you still. Hillbilly, that part. And I got to end my show. But Hillbilly said, if you didn't blame her, you would still give her the other 75%. That part, protagonist. So if you know that they're only taking 1/4 of what you used to give her, why you don't cut her a check or a money order for the rest if you're not mad at her? That's a great point. Deb said, and you said she gambled and she lost. Why is she losing if you can pay more? Pay her what you can instead of what she has been ordered for the benefit of your son. That part, because when you say she gambled and she lost, what does that even mean? You're still blaming her because you're saying she did this, but I'm telling you, she probably most likely did not if she's on welfare. They pushed the envelope on her, right? So when you say she gambled and she lost, you're making it seem as though she chose this path. That's what I mean when I keep saying you're blaming her in your words. Subliminally, you're blaming her. Protagonist said, so I purposely hurt her back where it hurts the most, her pockets. See? You said you're hurting her back on purpose. I don't know. I gotta go. Wait. Why would I pay her when she said she did it to hurt me? I ain't a simp. Does more money give him more clothes, more food? It might help put him in some sports programs like basketball or baseball, or send him to a learning center for some extra whatever. I mean, I don't get into how these parents spend their money. You know what I mean? Like, this conversation is so, like, everybody thinks that the baby mama is taking the money. Like, unless you're Tyson, or The Rock, or Jay-Z, and you're making millions of dollars, or Puffy and you're paying $20,000 a month or something like that. Come on, y'all. If y'all paying $1,500 a month or $1,200 a month in child support, come on, y'all. These kids are fucking expensive. Right? Y'all ain't paying $20,000 a month. Okay. Cheryl Lee said child support court and family court are separate in Maryland. If the couple has a volatile relationship and one says the other isn't fit, they then have to go to family court for visitation. Georgie said, protagonist, could you ever push past the hurt, humble yourself, play nice, and just do whatever she wants to be able to see your son? Then when he gets grown, cuss her ass out? Protagonist said she initiated the child support. That's a fact, not my opinion. Okay. Debbie said it costs so much to raise kids these days. When is $500 a month a money a grab? I don't know. Okay, because I go to the grocery. I live by myself. Okay, I live in this apartment by myself, and I go to the grocery store and I spend about $150 a week for me. Imagine if I had a kid here. $150 a week. That's $600 a month for groceries for me. Now imagine if I had a child here that eat different, maybe got peanut allergies. Who knows? I gotta shop different. Then I gotta buy lunch foods, the package shit for lunch or her shit for lunch, and buy snack foods. It's more money. It's more money. Okay? It's more money. Valerie said the bottom line. Oh, wait, let me go down. But even if she is taking the money, so what? The kid is still being taken care of. That's from Valerie. Hillbilly said the bottom line in a relationship isn't money. Valerie said the mother is doing everything there when he needs a Band-Aid, there when he cries, etc. She's doing everything for that child. Daycare, taking him to school, that part. See, Val, you spend $150 a week too, right? Protagonist says, my bottom line is if I was paying like a man and you gambled to child support, hoping she'd get more, she'd gamble and lost. I'm building businesses in my son's name so that her and the government got to chase. Angel, come on. I spend like half of that at the bar just chilling. The fuck? $500 ain't nothing. I mean, the fuck? Imagine putting gas in your car every week to take your kid to do all their activities. I know, my grandson got a lot of activities. The fuck? Georgie said, literally just be the bigger, smarter person in this situation. If you can trick her into thinking shit sweet until he's 18, think of your genius in that way. You and your son win. Be an actor. Yeah. Hillbilly, let him know. As the legal guardian, she can claim the business. You got to be smart. Got to be smart. Wait, I had to put $500 down on my kids' braces last month. I know that's right, y'all. But I got to go. It is 10:14 and I got work to do. I was supposed to be in the office, but my bus got fucked up and it's raining again. My boss was like, cool, stay home. And so I'm gonna hop off of here, but y'all know what I say. Coffee with Friends. This platform is a healing platform. We get on here and we talk about things that trigger people, things that we know that we're still healing from, problems that we know we're still going through. We share positive thought. Today's positive thought talked about living your life authentically, right? Not caring or taking people's opinions to heart, right? Being okay with what your life is and who you are, right? And we know that when you live your life authentically, people going to get mad, right? And you got to be okay with motherfuckers being mad. I know I am. I wasn't always okay with that. And Protagonist, again, we talk through this child support shit and all this shit with love because we are here to help each other, right? And if we agreed with every aspect of your life when on the inside we really don't agree with it, we wouldn't really be loving up on you. Loving up on each other is being honest and trying to help each other in a loving, healthy way. And that's what we're doing on this show. So I appreciate all the co-hosts that joined today. Zen, Angel, Protagonist, Johnny Leon Hill. I love y'all. All right. Thank you for holding down the show. All right. Johnny said, Protagonist said they're being raised by a single woman makes a man feminine. How is he going to change the statistics for his own son? More to come with that. I'm going to leave y'all on that note. I mean, damn. That was a question. You can't teach somebody who doesn't want to learn. That's what Angel said. And Michelle said this was informative. Have a great day on purpose. Yes, y'all. You know what I say. Continue to love up on each other. We got enough negativity, right, in the world. We come on here to show love, spread love, even though sometimes we get heated. You know, some of us, they might feel hurt based on what we're saying, but we are delivering these messages with love, right? We are like a family on Coffee with Friends, whether you're new to the show or not. All right. And so I just want to say, even when you feel your worst, I know you can still go. I'm going to send y'all out on these positive vibes. I will see y'all back here tomorrow. Yes, I will be here tomorrow. Normally I'm in the office on Tuesday and Wednesday, but I will be here tomorrow. All right. Get this message.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still
This is
go.
Coffee with Friends.
Even when there's no hope,
And
you
I
can still
am
go.
going to
I never
Debo.
answered to no, man,
Gone for
still
now,
go.
but never forever. Continue to spread love, y'all. Peace. Hey, get this message on your way out.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Hey.
I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
What?
Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave.
I'm doing shit my way on the highway. Hey, later TikTok.
Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain
Anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient.
it's belief.
Hey,
They deceive with the negativity,
but I just slide right by that energy.
even when you feel low,
You can still
go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you
y'all.
can still go. I
What?
never ran, said no, man, I